Hi, I get to be at Chick-fil-A here on a Sunday, but only so I can interview owner-operator Dustin DiChiara. Let's hear his story today on People of Northern Kentucky. Dustin, welcome to People of Northern Kentucky. Now, can you give me a little bit of the background of where you came from, and also, like, how did you end up in Northern Kentucky as an owner of a Chick-fil-A?
That's a great question. It's been a long road. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama originally, and I worked at a Chick-fil-A restaurant there, and through my career with Chick-fil-A and desire to have a career with Chick-fil-A, it took me from Birmingham to Daytona Beach, then back to Birmingham, then up to Cincinnati. And so my first assignment here was at Northgate Mall in Colerain, and then I moved down to downtown at Tower Place Mall in downtown Cincinnati. Ran that location for 4.5 years, and then in 2009 we opened here at Houston Road, and I was able to relocate here and have been here since.
What is it like to be an owner of Chick-fil-A? I mean, like, what do you do on a daily basis?
As an operator, my job really boils down to two things. It involves growing the business and growing people. And so on a daily basis, most of what I do is related to one of those two major responsibilities. I'm either thinking about how to grow the business, whether that's operationally or out in the community, or I'm thinking about how do I grow my leaders. As we get busier and busier and our sales grow, the larger our business gets and the more dynamic it gets, we need strong leaders to be able to help manage and lead and grow the team. So that's a big part of those two areas are what I mainly do.
Okay, well, talking about the community, what are some things you do out in the community?
All right, there's several ways in which I'm engaged in the community, but two that I'd like to highlight that I think are they're really exciting. The first is my involvement with the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. I had the opportunity to serve on the executive committee, and there we have a huge privilege of being able to come alongside businesses and help them solve their problems so that they're successful, and I think that's a big mission of the Chamber. The second initiative I'm involved in the community is with Skyward, and they have an initiative called Live Well, and that initiative, the goal of that initiative is to help adults in our community feel better and act better from a health standpoint. And so my engagement is specifically targeting the faith-based community and coming alongside Skyward and assisting them and engaging the faith-based community in Northern Kentucky to help achieve that goal of all adults in Northern Kentucky having improved health.
That is your direct involvement in the community, but also your Chick-fil-A Houston Road also does many things out in the community too. What are some of the things?
So our restaurant's involved in several initiatives here in Northern Kentucky that I like to highlight, particularly in Boone County. The first is a promotion that we do every January. It's called Get Warmth, Give Warmth. So there's a particular day where guests will come in and buy a bowl of soup, and for every soup that is purchased, we donate a bowl of soup to the emergency shelter in Northern Kentucky to help feed the homeless down in the Covington community. The second initiative is with an organization called All Pro Dads, and that organization exists to strengthen relationships between fathers and their children. And so not only do we help assist All Pro Dad chapters to begin in schools around in our community, but we also typically provide for free the first breakfast for the first All Pro Dad meeting to help give them an encouragement and a boost to get dads to come out, because it's a fantastic program. A third event that we're involved in the community is called Stuff the Bus. And historically, we've made this a friendly competition between Kenton County and Boone County schools. So we'll have a Kenton County bus and a Boone County bus on our property, and we'll encourage guests to bring at least 3 school supplies. And if they bring at least 3, we give them a free sandwich. They actually take their school supplies, stick them in the bus, and at the end of the competition, the school systems win, and that they get a host of various school supplies for students that don't have the means to purchase their own. Mm-hmm. All the customers win because they get a free sandwich, and then the students ultimately win and the families win in the community because we typically kick in an extra cash donation to the family resource centers of both school systems as a thank you for participating in our promotion.
So you sound very busy running the business, doing things out in the community. So what do you do outside of work?
When I'm not busy at work and I'm at home, I spend time with my family. My wife Amy is a gastroenterologist with St. Elizabeth Physicians, so she's involved in the community as well and firmly rooted here in Northern Kentucky. I have 4 children. My oldest is a boy, and then I have 3 girls after that. And so we look forward to many, many years of being involved. They're involved in various youth sports in the community as well. Personally, I also spend time focused on my physical health. So whether that's ensuring that my diet is where it needs to be, or physical activity, engaging in that multiple times a week, usually 5 days a week, I'm spending time exercising and getting outside, getting outdoors. I really enjoy running in Central Park and the paths that are there. It's fantastic. I love the paths there. I also love to play the drums. I attend Grace Fellowship Church in Florence, and around once a month or so, I have the pleasure of serving on the worship team and playing drums with the worship team there. So I love serving the Lord, and I also love playing drums, because I like playing drums.
What is your favorite thing about Northern Kentucky?
So I'm from Birmingham, as I mentioned originally. My wife is from Atlanta, and as I look at Birmingham from an experience of living there, and then Atlanta from an experience of visiting there, neither one of those 2 cities really feel like they meet us where we're at. That's one of the things we love about the Northern Kentucky area. It has big city amenities, but with a small town feel. And we feel like it's kind of the perfect blend of the 2 cities where we've come from. And so we love the parks, the park systems in Northern Kentucky. We love the dining options. We love how you can go from urban to rural in about half an hour. We love the seasons. We love the sense of community that exists in the different neighborhoods in Northern Kentucky. We love there's many initiatives that folks are engaged in. There's an aura, I guess, of growth and improvement, and we love that about Northern Kentucky.
What do you think your greatest achievements are?
So I'll probably an achievement I'm the most proud of, and it kind of hits at the core of where I'm at. I'll tell it in a quick story. Several months ago, I was downtown in Cincinnati, so not even in Northern Kentucky. I was in Over the Rhine having coffee, about to have a meeting with someone else, and I got a tap on my shoulder. I was on my computer and had my headphones in, so I wasn't really paying attention around, and I got a tap on my shoulder, and I looked around, and it was a former team member who had started with us when we first opened in 2009, and so here it is, 2016, that she's tapping me on the shoulder. And so she saw me. I did not see her. She came out of nowhere, tapped me, interrupted me, took the risk, but she told me that she was there applying for a job, and she was so thankful of her experience working as a team member with me in high school. And she further shared that as she has gone through and filled out applications over the course of time to various places, that when she writes Chick-fil-A on her job application, that is almost a key or a ticket into the door. That when potential employers see that, she now kind of gets booted to the top of the list, if you will. And so to know that my work and my organization had a positive impact on a team member that has had a long-term impact, not just they had a great experience working here, then they moved on, but that there was some fundamental learnings and changings and growings that happened, and now they are better people as a result. That is what I live for every single day.
Anything else you would like to say to the people of Northern Kentucky?
There's a couple things I'd like to tell the people of Northern Kentucky. The first is be grateful for the area in which you live. I grew up in a place that's different, not bad, but different. And I've really come to love this community. I felt very welcomed here, and I feel like I'm a part of the DNA of the community now, having been here for over 10 years. And so a sense of gratitude, I think, is something that I experience often, and I would encourage the people in Northern Kentucky also to experience that. There are many things that we have here that don't exist elsewhere. Secondly, I would encourage the people in Northern Kentucky to step out of their comfort zone and get involved. There's many, many great things happening here. There's many great impacts that are happening in the lives of folks, And there's a big story that's unfolding in our community. And I think as the people of Northern Kentucky, our job is to connect up into that story. And I think if we connect up in, not only will we experience greater fulfillment, feel a greater part of our community, but also we have the opportunity to really impact significantly the lives of some other folks.
Thank you for joining us today. Every Thursday at 10 a.m., get to know your neighbor by catching a new edition of People of Northern Kentucky.